Hi, hello. I got a microphone. And don't think this changes me or anything about this channel. It just means that the audio quality is going to be a little bit better, okay? Don't get it twisted. Anyway, I just got back from my run, right? And I haven't been running a lot recently because I keep getting in my head about how tired I am and how I'm feeling. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad. I feel upset. I feel sore. I feel horrible. And then I saw this one video from this dude that was like, he's a runner. And he said, do you think I don't feel like you? Do you think that I don't feel the pull of my blanket to just stay in bed? Do you think that this is easy for me? Do you think that there's any difference between you and me? Do you think that I do not feel the exact same way as you, except that I choose to get up out of bed and go for a run? And I heard that, and then I woke up the next day, and then I started running, and I'm like, oh, maybe get out of your fucking head every once in a while, Bailey. Maybe get out of your fucking head every once in a while, because a lot of us think that we are victims of life. People do not become who they are by accident. People do not gain the success they do by accident. The way your life looks is somewhat within your control. And those are statements that might make you feel uncomfortable, because I know a couple years ago they made me uncomfortable. I liked to think that I was a victim of life, right? I used to think that, oh my God, I've gone through so much trauma and everything's so horrible. I'm never going to recover from this. I'm never going to improve my life. You know, life has beaten me down so much that I am on the floor and I am KO'd. I'm waving the white flag. I'm fucking done. I am defeated. And that's the way I lived for like 2 years. And I couldn't see a way out, and I couldn't understand what I was supposed to do with my life, and I didn't understand where I was supposed to go from the depths of pain. Because sometimes life will beat the living shit out of you. And it will throw you on the floor, bloody and confused, and it'll say, get up. It's like, I'm not getting up. I'm down here. The second I get up, you're going to punch me in the fucking teeth again. He's like, I'll even look up the definition of a victim mentality for you right now. Give me a second. A victim mentality is just the tendency for blaming one's misfortunes on someone else's misdeeds, you know, which is it develops as a defense mechanism to cope with negative life events. It's a psychological concept referring to a mindset in which a person or group of people tends to recognize or consider themselves a victim of the actions of others. Which, if you have been a victim of trauma, or a victim of psychological abuse, or physical abuse, or a victim of anything, you have gone through a trauma which you now are considered the victim of. There is a certain amount of you are allowed to be mad at that. You are allowed to grieve that. You are allowed to heal from that. You are allowed to grow through that. But at a certain point, it turns from healing into victim mentality. And that's where I was a couple of years ago, because there's all these things that I know were going to change my life. It's like they were the windows I could see when the door was closed, right? I could not decide where my life was, but I could decide how I behaved. I could decide what I wanted to do with my 24 hours. Obviously, 10 of those are for work. I have to work, my 8-10 hours a day. Those hours are not mine, right? But what I do outside of that is completely within my control. Completely. There's nothing else holding me back from changing how I live. I knew there were about 10 things that if I did them, they were going to improve my life no matter what. And that was get the fuck off my phone, stop fucking scrolling, sleep more, eat healthier, drink more water, go for morning runs, do cold baths, start a YouTube channel, get in the sunlight in the morning, or at least get in the sunlight at least once a day, even if it's for 10 fucking minutes, journal or write daily, and make new friends, socialize, open up to people. And I didn't fucking do any of that, right? I did not do any of that. And those are very easy things to do. Very easy. It's just wake up in the morning, go for a run, come back, drink some water, eat some fucking strawberries. That's already half of the list. That's 2 hours of my morning. That's 2 hours, and I've already done 5 things on the list of what I know would change my life. These things that I'm constantly thinking of that I'm oh, if I do that, I'll feel better. So here's the thing. Why the fuck was I not doing them? Because now That's what I do every single day. I do every single one of those 10 things every single day so easily. So what the fuck changed within my mind that allowed me to do the things that I knew would better my life, but I had been constantly and consistently avoiding? Because I know that there's someone on the other side of the screen in the exact same place that I was 2 years ago, where they're looking at their life and they're like, I know I need to drink more water, but I can't. I know I need to get up earlier, but I can't. I know I should exercise more, but I can't. And here's the thing, and I've said this before, there is absolutely nothing fucking standing in your way. There's nothing. But whatever you've been thinking about that you're like, oh, I should do that, that would change my life, oh, I want to do this, this would be good for me, I should whatever. But you can't. It's because you're stuck in a victim mentality. You're stuck thinking that life has weighed you down so much that you cannot get up. Because that's the loop that would play over and over and over and over and over again for like 2 years in my mind, was just, oh, the reason that I feel so shitty 24/7 is because I was traumatized. The reason that I don't want to get up in the morning and go for a run is because I'm mad at people who have hurt me in the past. The reason that I don't want to go for something or start a new career or try out YouTube or do anything new is because I lost things in the past and I'm scared to start again. And those are all incredibly valid things, by the way, to feel that way after trauma. But at a certain point, those people ruined your life and now you're ruining your life. You cannot let what happened to you be the end of your story. You might not be the writer of your past, but you're the writer of your fucking future. You and you alone is in charge of what happens to you next. Life might decide to smack you upside the fucking head and knock out all of your teeth, but you know what you're going to keep doing? You're going to keep getting up. You're going to keep getting up and you're going to keep going. Because there is nothing that knocks you down so much that you fucking stay there. There is nothing that has happened to you that holds more power over you than you hold over your fucking self. Nothing. Nothing. Okay? Because trauma and abuse is a weak energy. It was someone saying, I see the light in you and I want to snuff it because you don't deserve it. It was someone who was so jealous and so tiny and so stupid that they would see who you are. They would see who you are, see what you're capable of, see the power and the light within you, and extinguish it. Do not let them fucking win. They want to see you down. They want to see you hurt. They want to see you on the floor, bleeding. For the love of God, do not let that be the end of your story. For the love of God, do not let the bad guys win. For the love of fucking God, I don't give a shit what you went through. And I mean that in the nicest possible way. I mean that in the nicest possible way, because when you detach from what you went through and you're like, okay, that happened, let's move forward, that's when your life starts getting better. But we cling to pain because we do not understand it. You don't need to understand it, you just need to let it go. Because I don't know if you've ever heard this quote before, but it's like, when a snake bites you, instead of sitting there and trying to suck out the poison so that you save your life, you chase after the snake and ask, why did you bite me? Why did you bite me? I don't understand why you bite me. Because it's a fucking snake. Snakes bite. Abusers abuse. And I was thinking about this on my run. Success does not happen by accident. Successful people, people who get back on their feet, people who keep going, people who improve in life, does not happen by accident. Yeah, they might have been born in better life circumstances. There are Nepo babies and there are people who were born with wealth. And so it's easier for them to reach success because they've started from a higher up place. But there are also underdogs that have rised from fucking nothing. And you know what they did? They woke up consistently every day and they said, I will not be a victim of circumstance. I will not be a victim of what I was born into. I will not be a victim of anything life has given me. I constantly and consistently look for ways to overcome the challenges that I have been given. And I constantly and consistently look for ways to improve myself in my life. It's growth. They look to growth instead of pain. Because the more and more that you focus on being a victim, you will become a better and better victim. You will become a better and better person who looks to others for their own self-worth. You will constantly and consistently look to others to decide what you're going to do. Hi, Editing Bailey here. Also, the more and more that you practice this victim mentality of like, life is not for me, it is against me. Life is not coming from me, it is coming at me. The more and more you will find yourself in the same situations that you got out of. And I am not just talking about relationships. I'm talking about, those loops that play over and over in your life, those Groundhog Day situations that just keep happening over and over and over again. You will continually find yourself in situations that you tried to get out to because you have trained yourself to be there. You have trained yourself to be a victim of circumstance, and you have trained yourself to say, hey, this is okay. I'm going to stay here even though it is not good for me, it is not serving me, and it is not a place I want to be in. But because you practice a victim mentality on the daily and you stay in bed instead of getting up and doing the things that you need to, you will keep yourself in bad situations subconsciously. And then end up blaming life instead of yourself because you have complete control over leaving or staying. You have complete control over what you choose to do within any situation. You can choose to communicate instead of staying silent. You can choose action over idly standing by as your life falls apart. You can choose growth over pain. You have choices within the matter, and there's always a way to improve. But if you practice a victim mentality every single day in subtle ways, when it comes to the big things, you will also play victim and then blame life instead of taking accountability for your own actions. You constantly need outside reassurance. You constantly need people to be validating you and telling you that you are good and telling you you are a good person, because that's what victims do. Victims let outside things be in control. And I'm not saying that you let yourself be a victim for the trauma that you went through. You were turned into a victim because of what you went through. Don't get that twisted. I'm not saying that you're not a victim, and I'm not saying that the things you went through were not important. They were. Believe me, I've been in your fucking shoes. But what I'm saying is that if you wake up every day and you let what you went through win, you are practicing being a victim every single day. And you were forced to play that role. You were put in that position because of an abuser who decided that you were now going to be their victim. You're not there anymore. And if you are, get the fuck out. Okay, now that you're out, you're not a victim anymore. Do not think of yourself as a victim. You still hold power. You still hold grace. You still hold control over your life. No one and nothing else and nothing you went through or any thought or any feeling is the one pulling the strings. You are. So what are you going to do about that? What are you going to do about that? And this was a conversation I had with myself like a couple of months ago where I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do with that? Am I going to sit in bed in the morning and be like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm so tired. I'm chronically ill. And I'm traumatized. I had a bad childhood. Because for 2 years, I would sit in bed and I would get so fucking whiny. And I'd be, oh, I'm not going to go for a run because I'm tired. Oh, I'm not going to do my journaling because, I'm sad. And it was the lamest fucking excuses, too. Oh, I have a little headache. Oh, I have a little this. Oh, I have a little that. It was never like a big thing. Because a big thing is like, oh, my foot's fucking broken and I can't run. Oh, I have bronchitis, and if I go for a run right now, I'm going to start coughing up blood. It wasn't like a big reason. It was, oh, I constantly and consistently make these little tiny problems into these giant fucking things and let them weigh me down, even though there's absolutely nothing standing in my way. That's a victim mentality. Whether you want to think about it or not, you're letting these little tiny things that mean absolutely nothing in the world hold you back. What, you're going to get to the end of your life and then you're like, oh yeah, I was tired the whole time. I was sad the whole time. I was upset the whole time. That's why I didn't go after anything that I wanted to do or anything that I loved. You're in complete control of your entire fucking life. And the sooner you start seeing that, the sooner your life will improve.